Bonjour.
Bonjour.
I'm with the beautiful Anna Brittain, dear friends, the Executive Director of Napa Green.
Yes.
We're here in Napa Valley.
In the vineyard.
Look at this. This is the vine. This is happening as we
Veraison.
speak.
Yeah.
Look at this beautiful vineyard. And there's a reason why it is beautiful. And I'm going to have a toast to Anna for being the Executive Director of Napa Green. We've done many sessions together. She's been enlightening us, informing us, educating us on our green endeavor that we should all do. And from all of you in Asia, Africa, Europe, United States, South America, all over the world, Canada, we need to take action.
Yes.
And it's never been more important than now. So cheers, Anna, for
Cheers.
all what you do in Napa Green.
Cheers to what you do.
And we've talked about 5 pillars so far. This is the 6th one.
Yes.
The ultimate one that Anna defined. So maybe a quick reminder about the 5 pillars as we roll into the 6.
Yes, hopefully there will be many more interviews, but we will have at least covered the 6 pillars across
Yes.
these great interviews that we've done. So we've already talked through energy efficiency and water efficiency, waste prevention and green purchasing. Integrated pest management and regenerative agriculture is what we're going to talk about today. There's social equity, justice, and inclusion, and then all of that rolls into climate action and, again, that regenerative agriculture. But today is really kind of the ultimate Bossé Collection Raymond Vineyards topic because it gets into those incredible leading organic and biodynamic practices that you've been doing so long. But just to define again, what does regenerative mean? That word's a little tough to say sometimes.
Specifically for a Frenchman.
For a Frenchman, which is fair. So it's all of these practices that you do. It's compost, it's cover crops, it's reduced tillage, it's planting beautiful plants around the outside of the vineyard that are good for bees and butterflies and beneficial birds and insects and things that come in and help us to manage the vineyard naturally rather than using external inputs. And all of those things are this win-win-win for soil health, for water and nutrient retention, for healthy animals, and they also store more carbon in the soil. And so the great news is there's a role that all growers and all gardeners can play in actively helping with the climate crisis. And so you can actually make even better, higher quality, more beautiful wines using these incredible regenerative climate action, we call it carbon farming practices in the vineyard. And so that's why we wanted to be here in the vineyard as we talk about this.
We're drinking an incredible, fresh, crisp
Yes.
Raymond Vineyards Napa Valley Sauvignon Blanc. So when you think about the freshness, your beautiful dress, the blue, the greens, the flower, your gorgeous, vibrant, shining red hair in the vineyards, those beautiful blue eyes, what does that make you think? And what are we going to have for lunch now?
Yes, I'm getting hungry. Well, one of the things that we always say is that sustainability actually elevates quality and elevates luxury.
Thank
and
you.
I think Bossé and Raymond are perfectly encompassing that and embodying that. So it's making everything better in terms of including the quality of the wine in the glass. And it's also helping to ensure that we can keep making Sauvignon Blanc and Cabernet Sauvignon at the highest level in the world here in Napa County if we take these actions.
That's right. So let's talk about the action. So we're having a new bottle, which is a little lighter than the old one, of Raymond Vineyards Napa Valley Sauvignon Blanc. I'm a huge fan because Napa Valley is not just about Cabernet, that's as well great diversity.
Yes.
So maybe let's talk quickly about diversity as we need more of this very fresh.
So part of what this is all about, I'm going to say it, don't mind me, that vineyards can get criticized for being a bit of a monoculture, right? It's grapes as far as the eye can see, but there's actually so many ways that we can enhance biodiversity in the vineyard, and that has so many benefits, as I was already alluding to. If you bring in, so it's called integrated pest management. Sounds very technical and scientific, but it's this ways that you bring in, invite in beneficial insects and beneficial birds like hawks and owls, and that help to eat the things we don't want here. You know, the mites we don't want here, and the gophers that we don't want down under the vines. And then in the surrounding area that we can help with, you know, we're having a crisis with the bees, we're having a crisis with the monarch butterflies. So ways that we can put in pollinator habitat around the vineyards and really increase that kind of benefit. And then also we've got a lot of, I don't know if you can see it in the background, but we have a lot of forested land here in Napa County. And so it's also really managing our forests to have them be really healthy and resilient as well, and to be good habitat.
Even our palm trees. Here we are. Look at this. This is the beautiful outdoor of Raymond Vineyards, and we believe polyculture is essential.
Yes.
And you touched on that. You know, when we think about Napa Valley in the 1800s, it had a lot of prunes, a lot of almonds, a lot of dry raisins, a lot of...
Interesting to think, yeah. Grain even. Once there was a lot of grain here, yeah.
So it's important that we continue to do this, because it's never one monoculture.
Right.
Monoculture doesn't work. It's that biodiversity that acts together. And this is why, when you look at what's going to come soon, I mean, look at this. This
Raisin is here. Color is
beautiful.
changing. Well, and one other piece I want to talk about, because I noticed when I was driving in, you have a sheep crossing sign.
Yes.
So one thing that's really taking off here in Napa County is sheep in the vineyard. And so they can come in instead of a tractor and instead of any herbicides, they can come in and be a natural weed eater. And then the great thing about them is as they're coming through, they stir up the soil. They leave some lovely things behind that add more nutrients to the soil, and can help with that water retention and can help grow the next year's cover crop. So we've been seeing more and more sheep out in the vineyard. They can't be out here now because they'd be nibbling on these lovely grapes. But earlier in the year, they're a way that you can naturally manage weeds out in the vineyard and really help the soil overall.
That's right. And let's talk about something so essential to us, and you kindly introduced it, is organic farming.
Yes.
And why it is so critical for all of us, really. To force it even through purchasing our daily routines of vegetables and fruits and products at the store. I think we need to all become organic. It's feasible, it's possible, it's achievable, and it's better for you. So let's talk about it applied to the vineyards and to our life in general.
Well, I'm going to say something a little contentious here, but that's me, which is that we do already pay a premium for organic fruits and vegetables and other products we buy at the store. And one of the ways we've been having a hard time really getting like a critical mass shift of grape growers into sustainability and into organic is because they haven't been seeing that premium. I don't know about you, but that premium that you can get for that added investment in the bottle. And so we do have to be willing to actually put our dollars where our mouth is and show growers that this is something we value, that we want to see, and we see that it takes a little extra investment, at least up front.
Yes.
But you've been doing it for a very long time, so you've got it very well established. But yeah, it is so, so important.
Well, it's approved. So we've had always another dilemma. On our super premium Burgundy where we started, my sister and I in 1998, I remember forever, are we going to put the EcoCert logo on the back? Are we going to put the Demeter logo on the back? And we never did. And a lot of the sommeliers said, we put the wine bottle on the table. We're very proud of your wine. Could you please add it? And we finally did. Because we thought we made great wines thanks to those techniques. We don't have to advertise it. And today we're finding ourselves with the logo of Napa Green that will be introduced on the back label at Raymond Vineyards as an example among many other wineries we have. To those logos, so do you encourage people to look? Do you encourage people to do this? What's your advice on this?
Well, we really do have to. I think that was a thing, 10, 20 years ago was this, we don't want to talk about these things. Let's just focus on the quality of the wine. We're in a climate crisis. We have to talk about these things. We have to be willing to serve as educators. This is what we're doing right now, right? And I think too, sometimes there's a resistance to talking about these things because people worry. I've heard this from growers and vintners. Well, I don't know everything. What if they ask me a question I don't have the answer to? We have to be willing to be vulnerable and just have conversations.
I'm going to call Anna Brittain.
Yeah, exactly.
And she's going to tell me
there are
the
people
answer.
to call and help you, guide you through that process and answer those questions. And so we all need to not be scared of talking about these things. And I mean, especially climate change can be really scary. And we can just kind of withdraw, but we can't do that. We have to be taking action in order to keep living the La Vida beautiful here.
It's our planet. We borrow it from our children. Let's never forget the old adage, the old saying. And I really believe, for all of you sommeliers, restaurateurs, retailers, hotel managers, and all of you consumers, look for organic. I mean,
Yes.
taste this wine.
Yeah.
I mean, you're tasting the soil, you're tasting the plants. I want with leeks, asparagus, tomato mozzarella.
I'm getting really hungry.
That's right. You want it with fresh herbs. I mean, this is
Yeah.
the basket of the representation of what we see here. This is this.
Yeah.
And I think it's important. Now, let's go a step further. What about biodynamics, and how can we really as well integrate the sequence of the lunar and solar calendar? Let's never forget the Egyptian, the Greeks, the Romans, the Mayans all did it. And the Chinese, furthermore, hence the lunar calendar.
Yes.
So give us some thoughts on that for all of us to be inspired by.
Well, some people get a little bit dismissive of biodynamic because there are some esoteric aspects to it. There's astrology. I think you and I believe in that, but not everyone's
Sure.
as engaged. But there's so many pieces. Biodynamic's really about so much of what we've been talking about, which is creating a closed loop system.
Yes.
Creating everything on site that you need, only getting what you need from the site, which is kind of ultimate in terms of that terroir we talk about, in terms of that sense of place. So it's not bringing things in from outside, and then that's fewer miles traveled, and that's fewer emissions. This all relates to each other. And there's so many aspects of biodynamic, without going too deep into a complex topic, that are proven. The compost teas are proven to have a lot of benefits. So there are scientific aspects to this that have been proven beyond some of the more, heart-based pieces of it.
And we could talk about esotericism, which is always a topic coming back with, the rhythm of the planets and working with it.
Yeah.
But I would leave you with a thought, which is prevention. You prevent an illness, you anticipate.
Yes.
So homeopathy,
Yeah.
as a human body, being treated by the plants to prevent whatever can protect that gorgeous body of Anna, is essential. My grandmothers, many of you know that, one left us at 98, the other one at 104,
Wow.
did not do synthetic medicine. Every day it was plant medicine. Every day to treat several parts of their body, from the minds to digestions to the hearts to the blood pressure, etc.
Yeah.
That had an indelible influence on me, because that influenced my sister and I to actually treat the vineyards with the plants that surround the vineyards and anticipate.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about this as well, Anna, as far as the future that we're going to be facing.
Yeah.
Because you're on the forefront of the environmental issues.
Yes.
You defend Napa Green, which is just one element of what you believe in.
Yes.
And we use Napa Valley, dear friends, as a luxury, phenomenal influencer
Yeah.
to the world. But this is just a micron
Yeah.
versus the whole world.
Right. Well, that kind of sums up so many things we've talked about being proactive. We have to be proactive. We can't wait until there's a problem to start trying to address it. We have to get ahead of this, and that means
Yes.
taking action. And so that's so many pieces of this in terms of what we're trying to do here by having the leading vineyard sustainability certification, focused on carbon farming, focused on reducing emissions, focused on increasing soil health, which increases the resilience of the vineyard. But yes, we're living in a bubble here, right?
Yes.
But we have an incredible influence, and that gets again to why we A, have to be proactive and do these things, but B, we have to talk about them and help spread the message of just how important this is, because we influence other regions. I know we do. I get calls from Ontario saying, how do we do this here
That's
in
right.
Ontario? And then we can have a much more outsized influence than just what we're doing here on the ground. So we got to get proactive here on the ground, and then we have to spread this message of how critical these practices are.
And what does proactivity means, dear friends? And I've been, for 30 plus years, criticized a lot all the time in the table, dinner table, lunch table, breakfast table. What is this organic practice? What is this biodynamic, voodoo, spiritual, secret, symbolic society that you're part of? Be open to the debate.
Yeah.
If you know your topic, you will be able to defend it with charisma, with influence, and conviction.
Yes.
And I think what is important, and this goes to the diverse world we live in and to the united world we live in, my grandparents were school teachers. They differ politically. At the dinner table, lunch table on Sunday, the table was shaking. They loved each other. They loved debating.
Love it, yeah.
They love saying, okay, Anna, Jean-Charles, we disagree. We love each other. Let's
Right.
talk about why.
Right.
and let's talk about each of our arguments. And then at the end, thanks to wine, because it always helps, we weigh the various opinions and then we conclude.
Yeah.
And I think we can have debate with very positive energy. We can have debate among friends. We don't have to all agree. So I would really, as my big wish, because Anna is going to give you all her big wish after all those great interviews we've done together, and we're going to combine them, all of them, thanks to Dylan, as one amazing 2-hour session. So we'll have it
I
as a
didn't
combined.
even know that. How exciting.
Well, it's important because if people want to download a YouTube,
Yeah.
save it, and come back to it, they
That's
could
right.
as a whole
That's
session,
right. That's right.
is welcome discussion.
Yes.
And when you welcome discussion, you're going to progress yourself. Many questions, Anna, I'm being asked all around the world.
Yeah.
Allow me to be better and to progress.
Yes.
So, dear friends, be open-minded. Be willing to say, I don't know. Follow the advice of Anna today, who said, be vulnerable. It's okay to be.
Yes.
Do I do things perfectly? I'm going to give you a prime example. I'm going to give you a prime example.
Yeah.
I'm organic, biodynamic. I'm electric everywhere. I still have not compromised on my car. It's still a Maserati with the engine. Is it wrong? I know it.
I thought you had an EV. I thought I'd
We
seen
do
an
too,
EV. Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
And I drive it most of the time.
Yeah.
But to impress you
Yeah,
today,
yeah.
I wanted the muscle
You
car.
wanted the muscle car.
So, but it's okay
Not
not to be perfect,
Yeah.
as long as you know you're not.
Yeah.
When I look at myself in the mirror every morning, I see all the imperfection. But I say, okay, I'm going to forget about some of those. I'm going to try to fix this one, and then I'm going to move on. So let's all be honest. Let's all attempt, dear friends, on the environmental issue that Anna defends so well, and we've been fully committed, all of us, and that speaks to all our winemakers, vineyard managers, and everybody in the process, running the wineries, and everything else. Let's become better citizens.
Yeah. Well, and this is a process of continuing improvement. We always say you can't go 0 to 100 overnight.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to get started. Every single one of our members has an action plan, things that they're going to keep working on over time.
That's right.
Driving the Maserati less and less.
Less and less. I'm going to give it up. Whoever wants to buy it, place a bid
won't
on
be
the
me.
chat.
But yes, this is a process, and we have to all be doing our part. We have to all be doing our part.
That's right. And dear friends, do what Anna advises. Make a list. Set your standards. Define your priorities. She's defined the 6 pillars for all of us, which are incredible. And I'm going to tell you, we have them written down in the offices and in the wineries, so everybody can be reminded of them.
Yeah.
If you don't tackle them all, don't be discouraged.
Yeah.
As long as you say, one day I will. The key in life is the present progressive. I'm willing to do. I'm open-minded to discover.
Yeah.
I'm open-minded to learn.
Yeah.
The moment you put your hands like this and you say, take me in a journey and I want to learn this process and I will go there with you, even if you're a stockbroker, a financial analyst, and you think you don't have any impact on the environment.
That's one of the groups that can have the biggest impact. We have to divest from fossil fuels. We have to. It's actually those people that control funds that can have the biggest impact the fastest. So I'm glad you brought that up. And just thank you for having this dialogue with me. This is huge, having these conversations and getting that there's a community out there to support you in making these changes. Even if you're not here, if you're curious about working on this somewhere else, reach out. We'll try to connect you with the right people to help make those changes anywhere. So
We love it. Anna, we want to thank you for what you do for Napa Valley and for the world, for all the wine region looking at you, because we all look at one another and want to learn from one another. And to continuous learning,
and improvement.
Napa Green, Anna Brittain. You'll see the summary. Download it on your YouTube. Watch it occasionally. There's so much to learn. And I could tell you, I've been committing to the environment since the age of 7. Composting, biodynamic farming, organic farming, I'm still learning today. And this is the fun of it.
Cheers. And cheers to Raymond and Boisset and all of your leadership.
Merci.
Thank you.
To Napa Green.